Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Implicitly, we saw last time, I just wanted to emphasize one thing, that implicitly in Dhanam, okay, we recognize one more order, okay, and that is, can you guess? We have seen all the other so-called scientific order, we have seen law of dharma, and then we have to, can you guess what is another law that you need to understand in order to become not only a generous person but also a person who lives a responsible life?
Karma.
Law of karma. Okay. Law of karma, what does it mean? It's a law, like every other law. Okay. We have seen before that every action has twofold results. One is the seen result and the other is unseen result. Okay, so that means that any action that you make right now, whether you want it or not, it will produce result, because it follows cause and effect relationship. Okay, so that means that any sattvic dhanam, okay, we have seen again qualified dhanam itself into sattvic, rajasic and tamasic, okay, will have its appropriate result. Any rajasic dhanam will also have a result. Okay, may not be exactly the same, but it will have result. Okay, and tamasic dhanam may have an adverse result. Okay, because if you end up funding terrorists, in the name of dhanam, then you are actually doing disservice to the world. Okay, so therefore every action will have its own result. Okay, so that is something which is what you call within the law of karma. Okay. So we have seen that. Now I really would like to move on to what is the crux of Vedanta. Okay, looking more into the nature of the cause, looking more into the nature of I, and then looking at the nature of the universe, and also then give the whole picture, which is equating you to Ishvara. That's a big thing, right? And that's what Vedanta really has to say, that's a real teaching. Okay, so the next verse, which is verse 23, it says, Om Tat Saditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanastrividha Smrutaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajnascha Vihita Pura. Okay, so here he says that at the beginning of the creation there was this Om Tat Sat. Okay, that was the main thing, and from there came the Vedas, the rituals and everything else. Okay, everything else includes what? Everything else. Okay, we have seen that the cause of the universe is manifest in form of all the different laws. Okay, Now you think that, okay, up to now what we have seen is there is this all intelligence, okay, which has, that's all, which manifests in the universe in form of different orders. Okay. Now we have to refine it further, because that's not all Ishvara is. Okay. So we need to become more refined in our understanding of Ishvara. Okay. So the name of Ishvara, okay, if you want to give one name for Ishvara which is manifesting in all these everywhere, okay, what name would you give? Exactly. Why? That's true. Why? She said it. Okay. So Om is the name, imagine, because you would think that something which is infinite, you would need infinite names, okay? But if you can capture the meaning of infinite through one word, then you're intelligent, okay? So this Om is one word which represents, okay, the Ishvara. It has 3 syllables, A, U and Ma, okay? So one word with 3 syllables, okay? And in Mandukya Upanishad, there is this whole unfoldment of what is the nature of reality through Om. Okay, so what does what does A represent? The A represents the entire physical universe, okay, which includes what? Your physical body. Okay, so that means the whole universe that you see can be divided into the world and me, the person. Okay, so that means that the physical universe includes all these different physical forms and your physical body. So up to now, what was our understanding of Ishvara? It is only the laws which govern not only my body but your body and Meera's body and Parijat's body and the tree and the animals and everything. Okay. Now, what do we understand? The Om is the very physical body. It's not only the laws which govern the universe. It's the very body. How? You have to ask me how. Right? This is where, again, if you can bring back your understanding of Satyam and Mithya. Okay? Do you remember the relationship between the table and the wood? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So here there is a form, table, but the content is wood. Wood is already free from being the table. Okay. Now, if I ask you, what is the body? What is the body? Let's look at the reality of the body now. Okay. It's nothing. She is a doctor, she goes right into cells, right? So that she skips all the other steps that we go through. Oops. So that's true. Because that's a final thing we come to, but in between we just have a little bit of fun, right? We have the whole system of taking people through. Okay? Now if I say physical body, okay, just like this table, okay, I said, okay, this is physical body. I see water, I take out water. I see blood, I take out blood. I see muscles, muscles are not body, I take out muscles. Right? I see nerves, I take out nerves. Show me where the body is. Water is not the body. Blood is not the body. Okay? The nerves, the muscles, all organs are not the body. Liver, kidney, heart. Is it the body? Is it the only? No. So that means what is the relationship between body and everything which constitutes the body? The body entirely depends upon everything that I enumerated. If you take out each one of them, is there any entity called body? Body is just the name for many different things which are put together. Therefore, body has a dependent reality. What is dependent reality called? Mithya. Right? Now, the water itself is what? The body is nothing but water. Water itself is what?
H2O.
H2O. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. So that means that water itself depends upon H2O atoms. Okay? The atoms themselves depend upon what? Electrons and neutrons and the particles. Okay? So that means that the whole system, then you take blood. My job is easy because I have 2 doctors sitting in front of me. So I don't even need to know what exactly on the sequence, right? So what is blood now? You tell me.
Blood. Protein.
Protein,
Cells,
right?
cells
Cells.
and plasma.
Absolutely.
Cells and
Right?
plasma.
Plasma. Okay.
Cells and plasma. Red cells, white cells, platelets and the plasma.
Okay. So that means out all these coming together, we give it a name called blood. So that means not only body is mithya, okay, water is mithya because that again depends upon something. The blood is mithya because that again depends upon something for its existence. Okay. Then the muscle. What is muscle? Now I'm learning.
Again, the muscles are cells.
Exactly. Nothing but cells. All the different organs. Cells. Okay. So that means all the way. Okay. Body is nothing but these parts. Each part is nothing but something else. Nothing but something else. That means the entire thing is mithya. Okay. So that means after the cells and particles and all, what do you find?
Space.
Exactly. Science is not able to find because what? There is no object which is the building block of the universe. That's why if your attempt is to find a given thing which is the building block upon which everything else depends, you'll never be able to find it. What do Vedas say? The building block is what? Intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That, from that intelligence, all intelligence, okay, as though comes all these very tiniest of the tiny particles which are not even tangible particles. They are all just minute, you can't even see with a microscope, can you? No, right? All the quarks, and after that it all becomes just concepts, right? So that means that ultimately what is the building block is the intelligence. Okay? So that means intelligence not only brings about, okay, the so-called cells, then what? Arranges them in a given way where at times it becomes what? Liver, and performs liver functions. The same stem cells, if you take, you arrange in a different permutation and combination, what will it become? Kidney. And it will perform a totally different function. Okay? Heart, same. Okay? So that means there is an intelligence which not only brings about these minute particles but arranges them in a highly intelligent manner that there becomes all these different organs performing these different functions which follow what? The external laws. That means that intelligence that we initially understood only as that laws which govern me, now what is my understanding of that intelligence? It manifests here also. It manifests there. It manifests here. So not only it is the laws, but it is also the forms, the objects which are governed by the laws. That means, where is intelligence? Where is Ishvara?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Not only in form of the laws, but also in form of the objects which are governed by the laws. The same intelligence manifests as objects and the laws and makes the whole show possible. And as we saw earlier, what? Itself is ever affected by any of that? Not. It's always free from that. Okay? So now you have further, and same intelligence appears as what? Your physical body and the entire physical world with which you interact. Okay? So that means this akara stands for not only I, the individual, which is given a name called Vishwa. Vishwa is the physical body. Okay? And the entire physical universe. All, which includes all the forms, it includes all the objects, which seem to be governed by laws. Just as I see my physical body, you see the physical body of an animal, of an ant, of everything, okay? Of a planet. Planet, what is it? Exactly. Okay? It's nothing but, again, all these atoms forming that given form which can perform a very specific function. Okay? So that means all known to me and unknown to me. Okay? So this is what A represents. It includes the entire physical universe. Okay? Now, is there all there is, the laws and the physical universe in this universe? Think about it.
Yes.
No, for once you are not. That is U. Because if you see U and Ma are remaining.
Okay.
Right? So that is U. Okay? What is U? Okay? U is when Jay smiles. Okay? I say that she is happy. Right? Am I able to see what is going on in her mind? I can only infer through what? Her physical, her smile. Right? Exactly what is going on in her mind, am I able to know? No. That's why it is called what? Subtle. Okay? So that means that there are subtle functions. There is not only a physical body, this is what we call a subtle body. Okay? Subtle body includes what? All the subtle functions. What are the subtle functions? You can see the physical hand, but you have no idea whether my hand can actually, to what extent my hand can do the work. What gives the capacity of the hand to move, that is something which is subtle. Okay? That's why when a person is passing away, the physical hand, does it remain or not? It remains. What goes away?
The function.
The function goes away. And that function, what gives that function, what gives that possibility of a function to a physical form? There is what we call subtle body. Okay? The subtle body includes all the different subtle functions. Okay? It includes what? All the different functions of your mind. Okay? Because the mind, as I said, has all these 4 different types of thinking. Manas, cognitive capacity, Chittam, and Ahankara. Okay? But as far as me, the external person is concerned, can I see exactly what is going on in your mind?
No.
Unless you tell me. That's why it is called subtle. Okay? I can see your forehead, but I have no idea what's going on within your brain which is producing the thoughts that you have unless you verbalize them. Okay? So this is why it is called subtle function. Okay? I can see the physical eyes, but can I see how much the eyes can see? No. Okay? Even if you go to an ophthalmologist, he has to rely on you to find out how much you can see. He only treats you according to what you tell him. He's not directly seeing anything. Okay, that means it is subtle. That whole function, that means that not only it includes the mind. What is subtle body? It includes the functions of my mind, different functions of my mind. It includes the functions of my what? 5 sense organs. What are the 5 sense organs? Eyes,
hearing,
ears,
Nose.
smell,
No.
touch,
Touch,
and
taste.
taste. Okay, these are all what we call subtle functions. I can see the physical ear. I have no idea whether you can hear properly or not. You have to tell me. She has to tell that, Surya, can you speak loudly? Because I can't hear you. Surya, if he was able to perceive it, right, he would have done it. So this is why we call it a subtle function. Okay, so this is what we call the subtle functions which are taking place in the body right now. Okay, we are not creating a concept. It is right now. There is not only a physical eye, but there is a capacity for eyes to see, which is not directly tangible to me. That's why it is called subtle.
I'm not following why the function is subtle. Isn't that the natural function of the organ?
If it was a natural function, everybody will do the same job. Each.
It is individual, but I'm not following what's subtle about it.
The subtle about it is by seeing your eyes and seeing Meera's eye, I don't know about what number you have, or whether you can see, whether you have a clear vision or you wear glasses, or what number of glasses you wear. It is not evident to me by just looking at your physical eye. So that means physical eye is tangible to me, but the functions of the eyes are not tangible to me. That's
So
why
let's
it becomes
focus
subtle.
on what the sense organs perceive. You can't see what I perceive
Exactly.
through my sense organs.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
the function of the knee is visible to you, so that's not a subtle function?
No, the knee is visible, but unless you move it, I have no idea that what it can do and what it cannot do. Right now, Meera is sitting and you are sitting. Just by looking at your knee, I have no idea what they can do.
Or whether they hurt
Whether
or
they
not.
are, exactly, whether they hurt or not.
That's the sense of touch. You can't
Yeah.
perceive your
Yeah.
sense of
Yeah.
touch.
Exactly.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
the function of it.
Okay, so that means the subtle body includes your the capacity of your 5 physical sense organs to do that function. Okay, one thing is the physical ear, the second thing is subtle, the capacity of that ear to hear, and that keeps changing. And who knows all the changes that are taking place? Can I know it? Only you know it. Okay,
And even we don't know it.
Even-
very much.
yeah, right. But at least you can tell, okay, now I'm 80 years old and I have difficulty in hearing. By just the physical ear, I'm not able to figure that out, right? So therefore, it is subtle.
So feelings are also a form
Yeah,
of
absolutely. Because anything that goes on in Antakarna, which falls in the all 4 categories, Manas is what? Emotions. Emotions, your emotions, do I feel? No. Only you can feel your emotions. Only you know exactly what you feel. For me, I can only infer based on your facial expressions. And I can
So then the relationship with Ishvara is also subtle, or
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, what does the all intelligence, what does it include?
okay.
Okay, is not the entire physical universe, which includes your physical body. Okay, now Ishvara is not only that. Okay, Ishvara is also what? The intelligence which gives all the subtle functions.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Okay, so that means
Just to make it, to add on what
Yeah.
you say. See, one very easy way to understand what is the subtle body is, imagine what is the difference between a corpse, a dead body, and a live body. In a corpse, a dead body, you have only a physical part of it.
You have everything else.
Okay? What is not there anymore? the subtle body.
Mm.
In the subtle body, as Neema says, you have all the mind. The mind is not operating anymore, but also all the physiological function which are working as you are alive.
Mm-hmm.
The process.
Digestion, excretion, respiration, and so on. This is part of the subtle. It's not there anymore. Also, this capacity of the physical hand, as she says, to grasp things in a dead body, it's not capable. That is the subtle part of these motor organs, okay, which make them able to move. This nerve and so on, and all these electrical impulses. This is the subtle part of the body. Okay.
So basically, the function, like when we're talking about the body, like the cardio system, say the heart.
Yes.
The physical form is just the heart with all the
Yes.
innervations, but the pumping and the moving, and that
Yes.
is the subtle bit of it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And absolutely, there is one organ, right? So even people who have the organ, right, kidney still
Yeah.
remains, but the function of the
Yeah.
kidney goes away, right? So that is something which is a subtle thing, which is what is making the kidney work according to how it is supposed to work. Okay, this is what we call subtle. Okay, so that means it includes not only all the feelings, as you said, but even my cognitive capacity is within the subtle. Right? My memory within subtle. Okay? My eye sense. What am I thinking about myself? Okay? The whole world may be admiring you, and you may be thinking what? I'm no good. But can anybody see it? No. Okay? People may infer from how you behave, but people don't know what exactly is going on. This is why we call it subtle. It's not tangibly available for people to know. Okay? So all the functions of Antakarana is part of the subtle. All the functions, all the capacities of sense organs is subtle. So the physical, this eye which I can see is included in what? Physical body. And as Surya says, when the body dies, does the physical eye go away? No. Does anybody see anything else going, leaving the body?
Pran.
Do you see it?
No.
No. That's why it's subtle. Exactly. Because the physical body has remained, but something has gone which doesn't enable the body to do what it used to do. Okay? And because it's not tangible, you call it subtle. Very easy. Okay? So this is what Pancha Prana is also part of the subtle body. Okay? The air moves, goes into your body and performs all these different functions, so that all your organs, your circulatory system, the whole thing can work. Okay? So the mind, then Pancha Prana. What are the Pancha Pranas? Inhaling, exhaling, okay? Digestive system, circulatory system, and excretion. This whole thing is something, all that is going on in your body. I have no access to it right now, whether your circulation is good or not or anything like that. All I see is one physical corpse in front of me. Okay? So this is what we say, that there is Pancha Prana, mind, the capacity of your sense organs, and then what? The capacity of your organs of action. Organs of action are, what are the organs of action? Hands, legs,
Feet.
yeah, hands and legs, then speech. Okay, that is your physical, So you have a tongue, but whether the tongue can produce sounds or not is something which is subtle. Okay. Then you have excretion and procreation. These are what we call the organs of action. Their capacity to do the job is what we call subtle. So the subtle body includes not just the physical body, but each of the organs or the parts of your body are capable of doing some functions, right? Now whether they are doing it or not is not tangible to me. That's why I call it subtle. And what's going on in your mind is also not something that I can perceive. Okay, I can only infer. So that's why it is subtle. Okay, so that means not only when I say the universe, right, there is akara which includes the physical universe, there is also ukara which includes what? The subtle universe. Okay, so the subtle universe, same thing. Okay, that my neurons tick, the chemicals move, the hormones move, the electric connections take place. Okay, and it produces a given thought in my mind. Okay, now that thought entirely depends upon what? All these different things that are happening. They themselves, neuron is what? Cell, right? The cell is again what? Nothing but intelligence. So that means not only that all knowledge is there in the physical body, okay, it is also there in what? The subtle functions. Okay, ukara. And the subtle functions of not only my body, but your body, in her body, in a cow, in a lion, in anything which is alive. Okay, birds, insects, okay, small bacteria, everything.
So Neema, like a rock,
Yes,
okay, it also is atoms and whatever,
yes, exactly.
but it's just a physical form.
Yes,
So it doesn't have a
subtle body.
subtle body.
Yes, exactly. So that means what? That's a very good point. So that means in this Jagat, okay, some things are what we call sentient and other things we are calling what? Insentient. Okay, rock the table cannot get up and say, I'm bored now, every day you're using me and I just want to go for a walk and I want to go to Pengongso. Will it say that? No. But you may want to do that, right? So that means what is the difference between this table and you?
Subtle body.
Exactly, right? Here it is nothing but atoms and particles, and there also it's nothing but atoms and particles. But what? There is one more added function, okay? And that is what we call the presence of subtle body. Okay? But if you say the intelligence, the all intelligence, is it only there? No. It's also in the physical forms. Okay? So that means there are some physical forms in the universe which may not have subtle body, but there are other physical forms which have subtle body, and Ishvara is where?
Everywhere.
In both. Right? So that all knowledge and all intelligence, okay, is not only in the entire physical universe, but also in what? The subtle universe. Okay? So subtle, it includes what? I and my subtle functions and subtle functions of everything. Okay? Ukara. So now your understanding of what is Ishvara, okay, is further becoming refined. Okay? All intelligence is not only the laws, it is the physical universe. Physical universe as though divided in my understanding as what? Me, which is what we call Vishwa, any individual, okay, and the entirety, the entire physical universe. In the subtle, there is a name that is given, me, which is what we call Tejasa, okay, and the entire subtle universe. Okay. Now, is that all there is? Akara and Ukara? No. There is Makara. Okay. So what does Makara stand for now? What else is there besides physical and subtle?
Jeez, that's
Okay. There is what we call the causal.
The what?
The causal. Okay?
Causal.
Causal. What does causal mean? Okay? The causal means something very important. Okay? So, right now, my body has come about Alka's body has come about, Meera's body has come about, Dev's body has come about. Why they are all within human body? They all follow a certain range. Why are they all different?
Different
Previous
DNA.
causes.
There are some different causes. Okay, that is what we call the causal. Okay, so there is physical, there is subtle, and there is causal. Okay, causal body means what are his causes which makes his body what it is are different from her causes. Okay, and her causes and my causes. Okay, if you take a scientific model, what would you go to? DNA, genes, okay, which are different, and therefore what? Every body is different, right? So that is a causal body. Okay, how that genes will produce a different body than that gene which is different. Okay, now in the understanding, these are manifestations of causal body. Okay, now is there an intelligence involved or not? Passing on the genes and making the next level of bodies according to the combinations which are possible within the genes. Okay, that is that intelligence which decides which genes are going to be carried forward, what form it is going to take. Same genes Dev and his brother Neil carry. Okay, but there are differences. So they follow certain similarities and some differences. What is it which decides that? There is the presence of all intelligence. Okay, making those causes manifest in a given way, in a given form, in a given function. That is what we call the causal bodies. Okay? Now, that means that in the causal body, there are the causes for something to happen next minute. Surya was saying that cells are all the time undergoing a change. Okay, so that means right now a cell which is not there is going to come about. Right? So that means that when will it come about? In what form it will come about? Is he inviting them? Okay, now I'm creating this cell. You come now and you go out now. No. Okay, so that means before the manifestation of that cell at that given time, okay, there is an order which decides it's going to come about, okay, and it is going to take this shape, and that other one is going to become unmanifest. So that means this is the whole causal function. Before something comes into manifestation, is Ishvara there or not?
Yes.
Very much there. What? In form of laws which decides what comes into manifestation at that given point in time and what becomes unmanifest.
Wow.
Okay? Constantly the world is changing. While we see the world which is stable, if you go to quantum level, things are changing and we are moving. The whole thing is just like in a constant flux. Okay? What gives it a capacity to say what is emerging and what is going out, and within that constant change, right, there is an appearance of stability. There is this all intelligence at work in what we call a causal form. The one who contains all the causes to decide what is going to come from 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, millennia from now. All the different functions, taking into consideration all the different things. Okay? Right now, it's very simple. Okay? Right now, this tree that you see, okay, is coming as a result of how many causes?
The seed, water, wind,
Exactly.
soil,
Absolutely. And that seed
Sun.
itself came from where?
another tree.
Exactly. And who is connecting it, and how far can you go back?
Oof.
When it began.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From the time of what? Big Bang.
Right.
Let's
Big
take
Bang.
it like that.
Exactly.
Okay? That means there are series of causes within causes within causes which connects the present universe to the time of Big Bang.
Big Bang, yeah.
Are you doing it? Am I doing it? No. There is this all intelligence, okay, which is present. What? In what is manifest right now is going to become unmanifest second later. Okay? What is unmanifest now is going to become manifest. Okay? So there is this all intelligence which is there present only in manifest universe?
No.
No. Okay? It is also when something is unmanifest. It's the one which connects the manifest into unmanifest and manifest into unmanifest again. Okay? So this is what we call the causal. That is what we call makara.
And
Okay?
it's all in O.
All in O.
Mind-boggling. That's what you said.
Okay? It's all, that means my understanding of all intelligence and all power, it's not just, yeah, okay, this physical law and that biological law, it is true. First I have to be alive to that psychological law, then it has to expand. It has to expand to incorporate what? Everything. Everything means what? Generally we think everything means what I see. Okay? Within the everything, I have to understand there are three dynamics: physical, subtle and causal. Okay? The causes which brought me and my body about, okay, that is what we call my particular causal body. Can you guess what my causal body would have? What are the causes besides these genes and DNAs and things like that, from what we have seen?
The karma.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we saw that any karma has seen result and unseen result. So that means the unseen results of my actions, right? Everything cannot be experienced in one given life. Okay, so they are carried forward. How? Through a causal body. Okay, which then what do they do? These unseen results, some of them combine and give me a one unique body and makes me go through what? Besides my parents, the kind of experiences that I'm going to have in my childhood, the kind of financial situation that I'm going to have in my when I'm growing up, okay, the kind of situations that I come across during my living, okay, it is all because, is it random?
No.
No. Okay, nothing is random in the universe. Because I don't understand it, I think it is random. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay? But in terms of the causes, there is this intelligence. Okay? So that means that causing the causal body of me, the individual, is called prajna. Okay? But the causes are not only here, they are where? Everywhere. Right? His causes, her causes, the causes of what? The tree, every planet, anything that you see. Okay? So the all intelligence incorporates the causal, my causal forms which are yet to give rise to what? Different manifestation of physical and subtle body, but all the causes which will bring about what? Different bodies and different type of universe depending upon how each one of us has acted. Okay, very simple. Okay, right now, just look at it slightly differently. Okay, right now, Dev is an environment specialist. We are experiencing the environment in a certain manner. Global warming, a change of weather patterns. okay, then ozone layer depletion, all kinds of things. Okay, it is a doing of who? You alone? Me alone? No. Generations. Okay, starting from the industrial age, when we started producing things, okay, we emit certain gases. Okay, now over a period, how many centuries or how many years have passed till we face the effects which are in this form? Immediately did they start? No. That means there is a cumulation, right? Cumulation and integrating what? Not only the action of one, but action of so many different participants, and putting it all together to produce the universe in front of us. Who does that? Do you do it? Do I do it? No. Okay? There are causes within causes within causes which are going to bring what? Into manifestation something. Okay? What carries me from present to the future, okay, through what? Series of variables constantly are added and constantly are incorporated into shaping the universe. Each one at every given point in time is acting. So that also has to go into what? Recalculation of how the next 5 years are going to be. Okay? So this is what we mean by the causal universe. Okay? In the causal is my causes for who I am and how I am experiencing the universe, and the causes which what? Not only make each one experience the universe. The way the dog experiences the universe, is it the same as the way I experience the universe? No. There is an order which decides what form, which eyes can capture what, which nose can capture what. Okay? There is this intelligence. And why that form is different from this form? Again, causes. Okay? So this, the entire thing which puts together all the different causes to produce the universe is what we call the total. So Omkara includes what? Akara, me, my physical body, and entire physical universe. Ukara, the subtle body, my subtle functions, and the subtle functions of the entire universe. The causes which have brought about my body, and the causes which brings about every body in the universe, and also different objects in the universe. Okay. What else remains?
Now I can't think of anything.
Okay, only two things remain. Okay, now first what did we see? The laws. Now what have we added? All the objects. Objects of what nature? Physical, subtle, and causal. Okay. Now it also includes, that means all that is here is Ishvara. You have to understand what is this all. Otherwise we just say very blah, everything, sab mein Bhagwan hai. But what is this sab? That itself is so limited in our understanding. We have to understand what are the implications of everything being Ishvara. Only two things remain still. Okay? Time and space. What is time? Okay? In fact, the scientific discoveries have made Vedanta teaching much more easy. Okay? Up to a very long time, okay, the modern physics believed that time and space framework is an absolute framework. Okay? within that is the objects. So objects keep changing, but time and space is absolute and it is fixed. Okay? Einstein realized that not only the objects are changing all the time, the very time and space framework is relative. That is his famous theory of relativity. Okay? So relativity of time and space, when he discovered that time and space themselves are relative, what happened? He was saying that the ground on which I am standing is beginning to shake. Okay? For millennia, humanity believed that time and space is absolute, and he saw that it itself is not absolute. Okay? Now, we cannot understand the equation, we are not here in the physics class, but one thing we can understand with simple Vedanta method, that time is relative. Okay? That is easy to show. Okay? Now, not only time is relative, but it is mithya. What does mithya mean? It has a dependent reality. Okay? So if I ask you, what is time? Alka, what is time? Tell me, what is time?
Time is the gap between two known events.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, exactly. Here. Easy. Okay? Time. Okay? Now, here it is what? 7 o'clock. Right? So 1 hour. The hour is 7. Okay? Now 1 hour is how many minutes?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. So when 60 minutes happen, we give it a name, an arbitrary name, 1 hour. So that 1 hour has a dependent reality. Okay? It entirely depends upon minutes for its existence. If there are no 60 minutes, there is no 1 hour. Okay? 1 minute, 60 seconds. That 1 minute again has a dependent existence. 1 second, nanosecond, microsecond. Okay? And it can go on and on and on. Ultimately, can you find a time? No. It is only a concept. There is that intelligence which is what? Making those units, okay, and arranging them in a way that the time as we understand functions in a very predictable manner. If I begin to look into time, the time itself goes on dissolving into something else, into something else, into something else, and ultimately it is just the play of that all intelligence. That means even time is mithya. What does it depend upon? That all intelligence, Ishvara. Okay. Space. What is space? Again, for convenience, as Alka says, space is generally seen from the standpoint of distance between two objects, right? So right now between me and Dave there is a distance. Okay, what is there in there? Is there emptiness? No. What is there? Space. Okay, so that is in terms of that distance. Okay, now that distance of, let's say, 1 foot. Okay, itself I call it 1 foot. It is what? Nothing but
Inches.
12 inches. Okay, after 12 inches I have given it a name of 1 foot. Okay, that 1 inch itself can be broken down into what? Centimeters. Okay, then centimeter itself millimeter. Okay, so that means the entire thing, it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. Okay, again it is the finding, the building block, nothing but intelligence, which brings about these tiny units and then makes them arrange in a way that everything acts with certain precision. As a mathematician, as a geometric whatever, you can find the distance, you can do diagrams, you can do everything with amazing precision. But when you look into the reality of it, it has a dependent reality. What is it that is making all of that possible? It is what we call the all-intelligence. Okay? Ishvara is manifesting in Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Alka was asking, there is this Isha Upanishad. Okay? When I say Idam Sarvam, what was your understanding then? Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. What is your understanding now of Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam?
What is that?
Isha is Ishvara, Vasyam is yeah, exactly, Idam Sarvam. Everything here is nothing but manifestation of Ishvara. Isha pervades everything. Idam Sarvam. Idam Sarvam is everything that is here. Everything, we don't even know what everything means. Right? We are so superficial in our understanding of things.
Because even the unmanifest includes.
Exactly. And subtle also it is
subtle
included.
also.
Time, space, everything is included within that. That's what means everything. Okay? That means the whole Jagat that you see has what? It has a dependent reality. Brahma, Satyam, Jagat, Mithya. Famous Vakyas of Upanishads. Thousands of years ago, people with brilliant intellect knew it all. And not only that, they had sophisticated methodology to pass it on in form of Guru, Shishya, Parampara. That's why it is because of that Parampara this knowledge is available to you right now. Okay? Time, space, the causal itself is set up as what? From one standpoint, it seems to me and Jagat. Subtle, how does it seem to me? My subtle and everything else. Okay? Physical, my physical body and everything else. Where is Isha? Yeah. Here and there, everywhere. Right? So this is what we mean by Om. Om is all that is here. From that all intelligence comes what? Time, space, every object within time and space is all arranged in a way that all these different forms come, the laws come, the interactions become possible, the interactions give feelings, right? I create meanings of that, I engage in the universe based on that meanings, I gather experiences, okay? I come back again to experience the unseen result of my karma. All that happens within this Isha. Itself is affected by anything, either the physical or a subtle or a causal is always free. The intelligence is never touched by anything. From this knowledge, where does that knowledge come from? This knowledge of what is. Where does that, what is the source of that knowledge? Ishvara. In fact, the source of not only this knowledge, every knowledge is Ishvara. As I said, before we discovered the laws of gravity, the gravity laws were already working, making the earth what it was. It didn't require our being discovery for it to operate. Isha, in form of the laws of gravity, was already there. Every knowledge. What do we human beings do? We shed our ignorance. Okay. That is what we call being alive to realities. Do you think that the time and space was absolute before Einstein discovered the relativity of it? No. It was already relative. What did Einstein do? Shed the ignorance. That knowledge was already there. Isha, is there any dearth of knowledge? From its knowledge comes the time, space, and every object in the universe. Okay, so from there also comes, where there is a manifestation, from there also comes what? The key to the universe. Key to the universe is what? Knowing. For you to know, up to now, you lived your life thinking what? I'm this little individual, tiny little individual. What is the world other than me? What is Ishvara? I don't know. Either it's not there because I don't see it, or somewhere out there because I don't see Ishvara anywhere. Okay. What is the reality and what is your perception of reality? But within that perception, in fact, as Alka, she used to joke because she's a gold medalist and she was very, very clever. So she says, as she was very young, I keep on giving Alka's examples. I don't know why, because she's sitting right in front of me and she's been talking to me. So the examples keep coming to me. So she says, when I was young, I thought I knew everything that had to be known, right? Then she said, life gave me a few slaps, right? And then I begin to what? Inquire. Okay? So that means even though our understanding could be so partial, we could be so convinced that what we are thinking is right. Okay? But a human mind has a capability of going out of that box and seeing things differently. That possibility is what? Possibility that exists within Ishvara. That when you begin to search for the answer, the knowledge is available to you. That is within what? Ishvara. Right? Having come to the person who can teach you, you understand. Everybody wants to understand. But does everybody has capability of understanding in totality what is being said? Not. How much you understand? There are laws. What are those laws governed by? Ishvara. You have to be a deserving recipient in order for this vision to make sense to you. Okay? Ishvara all the way. Okay? So that means the origin of this knowledge, like any other knowledge, is Ishvara. The capacity of a human being to capture it is within the possibility of Ishvara. Having captured it, to transmit it to somebody else within Ishvara. That person having understood, that person can make oneself prepared. Okay? That possibility of preparing yourself through using your free will is all within Ishvara. Okay? Having done that, you prepare yourself and you capture it in its entirety. Ishvara. All the way Ishvara. This is where initially you need to try to deliberately connect to Ishvara. After that you say, hey, how can I not connect to Ishvara? Tell me, where is it that I can go? Time is Ishvara, space is Ishvara, object is Ishvara, laws are Ishvara, all possibilities that exist within human brain, Ishvara. What I can collapse, what I cannot collapse, where I find myself caught by my past, where I cannot get out, all Ishvara. Okay. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Yat Kinchit Jagatam Jagata. Whatever it is, that is all nothing but manifestation of Ishvara. Okay? So this is what, from there comes the Vedas. Where is this knowledge? Like every other knowledge. Some rishis captured this reality and they have been passing on. Okay? The whole gamut of your preparedness, which is talked about so extensively here, where is it? It's all within. That is also given to you. Okay? Where is it coming from? Passed on, well analyzed. What does it mean to grow as a human being? What are the different aspects? Okay? Where do I make an effort? What are the nuances? How do I look at situations? How do I take care of my subjectivities? Oh, the gamut of things which involve your growing as an individual to become eligible for this knowledge. All within Ishvara. How much you collapse that possibility and take advantage of it, all within order of Ishvara. Until you are ready, it will not happen. Okay. This is what this whole thing is. This yajnas, this knowledge, everything goes back to Ishvara. What does a teacher do? Does the teacher have any one's own opinions or anything? The teacher's job is to transmit it unadulterated by one's own limited thinking. So that you can see this fact as clear as daylight. Is it a belief? What am I showing you now? Is it a belief? It's a fact. If that fact shines in your buddhi as clear as daylight, that's what you want to ask in Gayatri Mantra. Let the realities shine in my mind, undisturbed by my own highly limiting notions of things. Okay? Let my mind have a certain clarity, which sees things which are subtle but real. Okay? So this is what we call Omkara. That is something which is everything. From there comes everything. Okay? That's why he says the next verse, 24. Tasmado mityuda hritya yajnadana tapakriyaha pravartante vidhanoktaha satatam brahmavadinam. The people who want to know the reality, okay, what would they know? What would they do? Anything they do, okay, whether they are doing tapas or they are doing danam or they are doing yajna or any action, what would be at the center? What is the basis of their interaction with the universe?
The consciousness about Ishvara.
Exactly. Om Udahritya. Okay? Means keeping Ishvara in your mind, then there is danam, there is your participation. Okay? Every activity that you perform is with that awareness. Okay? That means your relating to Ishvara is not only when you go to a temple and do bhajans or whatever. You relate when you are relating to another human being, and when you are following samanya dharma, you are in harmony with Ishvara. Okay? When you are doing something which needs to be done, it's not just out of some dry sense of responsibility. You are in harmony with Ishvara. When you are giving dhanam, what? You understand the whole universe is set up in a way that you are a recipient and your responsibility is to give. This is how the setup is. You are not just doing a charity, you are understanding the presence of Ishvara and the presence of that order which places you in a way where you cannot but give. Okay? That means if Ishvara is the whole setup, no matter what I'm doing, okay, when you're taking care of your own projections, feeling of hurt and guilt, or the anger, or the sadness, or the jealousies, or the inadequacies, when you're taking care of that, are you out of Ishvara? No. You're within the order of Ishvara. At times, in spite of trying very much, okay, you can't eliminate it. Is it outside Ishvara?
No.
No. It is within Ishvara's order. Okay. When you understand Ishvara's order all the way, there is a certain relaxation. Within that, you have free will all the time. Okay? So that means even if you cannot do it, it doesn't mean you have to give up. Okay? You have that free will where you can continue to make an effort. That itself is what? Manifestation of Ishvara. That capability is given to you because of that presence of Ishvara. Okay? Your life is lived with the awareness of the presence of Ishvara, no matter what you do.
And that also means that at any given point of time we are not alone.
Exactly.
We are always in harmony with
Absolutely. You know, I read, absolutely, you are already in harmony with things.
Already.
I read a book by, I don't know, David Rico, I don't know, somebody who, he said a very nice thing. He said that nowadays, he said what you are saying, okay? He said that nowadays people feel down and people feel depressed and all because their vision is, I'm living in a world which is all inert, right? I see rocks, I see mountains, I see river, I see, you know, and only some few human beings. He says, if you change and if you see the whole, all the forces as nothing but all these intelligence, then your whole vision is that of what? Wonder, right? How everything is collaborating with everything with amazing precision in order to, for this moment to be what it is. Imagine you just shift like that and not just take everything for granted. What would be your quality? He says the modern civilization has taken out that thing of that presence of that reality which is all pervading, which is a live thing. It is not a dead thing. Okay. When it is not dead, okay, you are in awe. And you are in harmony with this whole system of things. It's like one. It's one organic being.
holographic universe.
Yeah, absolutely. I read one extremely, I mean, I don't know, I don't know much about physics, but some of the people are, it was Einstein, Surya had done some presentation, and in the end, he had a quote from Einstein which totally struck my mind. And he says that, you know, that there is this all-pervasive intelligence or consciousness. I think he was using the word consciousness. Okay? And then we, because of an optical illusion, give it a confinement. And we live our whole life being imprisoned by that self-created confinement. What a brain. What a brain. Sophisticated. Okay. He had, it was beautiful quote. Okay. There is certain reason why we are connected to one body and not to everything. Okay. But because of that, that sense of I am only this much and everything else is other or different or external is something which is just an optical illusion. And we are all fooled by it again and again and again. Okay. So this is what he says is Om. Once you understand the presence of Om, no matter what you do, that presence is invariable. When that is invariable, you are in harmony. And life becomes what? Cheerful. All these false divisions, smallness, limitations, imputed, they all go away. One becomes aware to the whole presence, which is the presence in everything. And you're not excluded in that. Don't exclude yourself. Okay? Otherwise, it's everywhere and I'm as miserable as before. Include yourself. Okay. Now, the next question, which is the final question. Now we have almost completed our understanding of what is Ishvara. Now the final question of Vedanta is, what is my relationship with Ishvara? Okay. What is this I? Okay. The physical body is not I, it's cells. The mind and its activities is not I. Why? Because there are all these different thoughts which come and go. They are caused by neurons which are not I. Okay. So where now do I place the physical body? I can't place my I. The mind, I cannot place my I. Everything is Ishvara, but I is still remaining. Where do I place it? Final thing of the puzzle. Okay. For that we will wait for the next class.
Nature or life?
Nature. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.